years, which is an incredibly long amount of time, and it's inhumane conditions, and it really is inhumane conditions, and it really is common kind of household, jokes or just rhetoric that, oh, go to jail, you're gonna get your butthole, men do get raped in jail, and women do too, I would imagine. But I can only speak for me as a man from what I've heard and seen through friends of friends and stuff like that, and it's terrible. And like, you're putting like I said, the whole lockdown situation, when you're sharing like an 8-foot by 11-foot cell with, by the way, your shitter is right there. Wake up in the middle of the night, gotta take a shit, and you got two people either sleeping or not sleeping watching you take a shit, because it could be either way, because over 50%, or not, that's not accurate, but a huge percent of the jail prison population are gay for the stay or fully gay, which is fine if you're gay, but not when it's like violent gay in jail and you can't go anywhere. And it's like, it's not, I don't even know if I would call it gay when you're like raping. Like, it's kind of a different thing. But yeah, no, it's fucked up. There should be something different. Like, and alright, so this is actually something that's really important that I've been wanting to talk about. And I've thought about this for a while. Where do you think that energy goes? Like, where do you think that energy goes? Like, okay, if you scratch someone's car, key someone's car, and you get karma, the energy came back. Or, I'll tell you a really cool story here in a minute. But, so where do you think that energy goes? So when you have people in cages, like, and they're there for, 3 years, 365 times 3, over 1,000 days. 1,000 days of essentially being dulled down because of, lack of creativity. And oh my God. I don't even need to explain how jail can dull the mind. I'm sure you can imagine. But, God, prayers to, hopes and prayers to anyone has friends or family, who's in there, to get out. When I say hopes and prayers, you don't have to take it in a religious way, because what it means is like a mantra, like through meditation, like when a mantra is like you repeat something in your head so you can get into the meditative state. So you'd be like, and you keep repeating it, and that mantra, it's not the word Om that means something, it's I guess the way it sounds has an effect, but it's the energy you're putting out there. So when I say hopes and prayers, don't be like, oh, prayers. Anyways, all right, so the cool story. So yeah, where do you think all that energy goes? When we have people that are in these terrible conditions, and they come out into America, don't you think they're going to continue that cycle of violence? And that's exactly what, I don't know if I still have it up anymore. I might have taken it down, but that's exactly what the lyrics that I posted on my Instagram, which is Mikolas and Theos at Instagram, MIKOLASENTHEOS. It's my personal. But yeah, I had like lyrics that I had written called The Hurt Cycle. It was like temporary name for it. And it's basically like talking about how, the vicious cycle of hurt, like someone gets hurt. Basically victims, people get hurt, and then they sometimes continue the cycle. Like if something terrible happened to them when they were a child and it really fucked them up, they will continue that cycle of hurt to other people. So what do you think happens with, people that go into jails and stuff like that, and they're, driven to insanity, when there could have been a better way, to get old Joe Schmo to learn his lesson not to speed and, yeah, be more careful. Rather than going to prison for, 3 years, it's just that. And see, we need to focus our energy on things like that, like with the prison system, also education, with the schools. Like, once again, where do you think that energy is going to go to? Like, if we don't make that a priority. So the cool story though that I was going to say real quick is that, long story short, I was at a gas station and I was gonna, it was a long ass line. It's like a big name gas station or whatever, convenience store. And, it was a long line because this lady couldn't get her car to work. And the lady at the cashier lady couldn't figure out the POS, the computer, to get the car to work. So she called this other lady over. They couldn't figure it out. They were pressing on these screens. I think it was another manager. Couldn't figure it out. And at this point, there's, probably one line has 10 people, and then the other line probably is starting to get 8 people. And at first I was a little bit impatient, but then I was thinking about like putting myself in like this lady's shoes, like, and here she was, a black lady, and me being mixed, like I don't have like a one group I identify with. I am my own. Like, I don't have a group that I identify with. I'm kind of like a Ronin, a lone wolf. But anyway, so I always, kind of look at it from, because I know what it's like to be black, white, and thought of to, Hispanic and shit like that. But anyway, so I think, like, look at this lady. She, she's getting her car declined. It's probably super embarrassing for her, and or it's not even. I don't know if it was declined. It just wasn't working. So I try to like look at the screen. And I just had gotten paid, and I try to like look at the screen, see how much it was, and it was like $8.92 or $8.70, something like that. I'm like, you know what, $8. I'm like, I was trying to think about in my head, like, can I afford that? Or should I do this? And I kind of battled with it back and forth for a second, and I was like, you know what? And I knew it was right. And like, when you know something's right in your heart, you should really go with it. And that's one of the things about seeking the light that I talked about on the other podcast. You guys will. If you practice this in life, and sometimes it's inconvenient. Sometimes if you drop like a whole bunch of pieces of trash at work, you go to pick one up, and then you see a whole bunch more. Like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna do the right thing. But if you try to bend down and pick up all 10 rather than one piece that you dropped, and you try to do the right thing, some crazy things will happen. So, anyways, I bought this lady her her $8, $9 stuff from the gas station. I like walked up to the cashier and I was like, excuse me, can I pay for this in cash? I was probably like 2 people away from her in the line, and she's like, oh my god, thank you or whatever. And then I just walked back to my place in line, and this girl behind me, which earlier was not really paying much attention to me like at all. She was just kind of looking at her phone or whatever. Now, like, this was like, I don't know, she was maybe 5 years older than me, or something like that, 6 years older than me. But now, as I walked back the line, I could feel her just looking at me, like just focusing, like, oh my god, this guy just bought this, he did the right thing. Finally, someone does the right thing. Like, oh my god, what is he doing? The right thing. Yeah, look at MLK, look at Jesus. The story of Jesus, I personally cannot prove, but okay, so so I'm getting so distracted. So as I get back to my place in line, then a couple seconds later, all of a sudden this lady, this black lady on the other side of the cash register thing on a different line, it's like, excuse me, sir. She's like, come over here. She's like, I'm gonna buy your stuff. Now, I'm going to buy her stuff because you just bought that lady her groceries. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. And I kind of just I was like, thank you. Are you sure? And she was like, yes. And you could tell that she was so happy with me that I what I did, a good deed or whatever. So I looked up and I just kind of looked around, because at this point there's, probably 10 people on my left, 10 people on my right. And everyone was staring at me, with this kind of heads up, there's some gangster dude in there. He was staring at me. He gave me a head nod, like respect. And that was the coolest thing ever. Not the respect. The coolest thing ever was to witness with my eyes a good deed bringing more good into the world. Because the cool thing wasn't me buying. I mean, that was kind of cool, cool of me, but it wasn't much for me to buy her stuff. It was just the right thing at the time, because I could do it. The cool thing was that someone saw that, me doing the right thing, or a nice thing, and they did a nice thing, which caused a chain reaction, and 20 people witnessed that with their eyes, and it was just kind of like this moment. I felt in my heart. It was like such a good feeling of just like being like, holy shit, everyone here at this gas station, like the 20 people here, all just witnessed like what it is to do good, like in the right thing. And that feeling fucking was worth it, because not to mention I did the math. My stuff was probably equal to hers. It was about $8. So that was my cool story. Got a little bit off track, but we still got about 20 minutes, and we're still on the first page. But yeah, guys. So just energy goes places, man, and I guess that's where it ties in full circle. With the whole prison industry and stuff. I believe energy ties in. Like that right there was like visually, it was like a spiritual experience, and I'm not saying a religious experience because I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. I don't subscribe to any religion, but I have my own beliefs. You know what I'm saying? And that right there was, for me, like, okay, wow, there it is right there. Keep doing good and keep doing the right thing, and try. No matter how hard it is, and no matter how many times you get beaten down, because I get up again. But Jesus. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed that. But so yeah, 15 minutes 4 seconds. Let's see. They're talking about how everyone breaks the law, and like, people break the law every day, like speeding, for example, which they talked about 12 minutes and 6 seconds. They were talking about how everyone breaks the law in one way or another, like whether they know or not, like whether it's like you spit your gum out, it's littering, which I don't like to litter at all. Like speeding, which everyone does, like every other person does, and like jaywalking, for example, is another one. But so Jamie was saying at 15 minutes and 4 seconds that connecting to an unsecured network is against the law, which technically it is you are accessing, it's unauthorized access to a network, which is essentially like hacking. Like, even though you're not hacking anything like that. I'm not saying that's hacking, but I'm saying that like the consequences, it's like you have, I'm phrasing this very poorly, but when you access a network without having authorization, that is against the law. That's what I'm trying to say. So, all right, 1323. They're talking about like the terms and agreements of apps and stuff, and just like how they can change, and it's just kind of crazy. As far as how long the terms and agreements are, like they really expect you to read that. They don't expect you to read that. They know that you're not going to read that. And I guess, it's kind of like what he meant, like as far as we all do things every day that we're not kind of aware of, like, But so 1355, Sam was talking about how he was with this guy on his podcast, and they were talking about how data is a commodity. And it is. Like, we talked about this on another episode. What you do, your behavior, your past behavior, like for probably a decade, and your current behavior is being monitored for various reasons, and it's getting to the point where your past and your present behavior will and is used to predict, or to try to predict, your future behavior, which poses the moral question is, if we get to this point in technology, would that be morally okay to use a piece of technology that could look at someone's, say, thoughts or something, or their internet history, I guess, their past, and then say, oh, well, he looked up bottle rockets, so he's going to build a bomb.